Hello, and welcome to the story of my car accident and what's going on with the road closures and protests here in Panama. Well, I was driving down the road into El Valle, and a big old Cobra truck was driving up the hill over the line too fast, hit the little truck in front of me, and then hit my car. I'm feeling lucky I didn't, get pushed off the mountain. There's kind of a backstory to the story. So let me go into part 2 about this. All right, I had to sit down and steady my arm for this part of the story. So, one of the things that's interesting about insurance brokers here in Panama is that they're not actually full service like they are in the United States. Not that I was used to. And they also don't send out renewal notices. So a couple of days before the accident, I had asked my agent to send me a copy of my updated insurance because I was sending the paperwork to get my license plate tag renewed, and I needed to have the current insurance, and the only one I had was from the prior year. So she sent me the updated insurance and a bill, and I thought that I had paid it in August, which is when it was due, and this was now October. And apparently I had put a notice on my calendar to pay my insurance renewal, but I'd traveled to the United States and I guess I did not pay the renewal. So I went onto the website for the insurance company and tried to get into the account to pay. And I couldn't get in, it wasn't recognizing my policy number. So I sent an email to my agent and the agent, I guess, at the insurance company that I was trying to log in to pay. And then I didn't hear from them for 2 or 3 days. And then I had the car accident. So technically, I was not covered by my insurance. So I have the accident and I call my agent, and I'm like in shock, right? I haven't had a bad accident probably in 40 years. And I guess I kind of forgot that I don't have coverage, right? So they're not going to be sending a tow truck. They're not going to be sending anybody, to help me. But the agent was just, I think she was doing the best she could, but I probably would have preferred a different level of attention and care. Anyway, so I got the car back to the house. I had to pay someone who was actually on the scene, who was towing the other little truck that was involved in the accident. So I ended up paying him to bring my car to my house. And then came the question of, are they going to actually cover me? Because although I wasn't covered for comprehensive, with liability coverage, they would have provided an attorney, which you need when you go to court if you're in an accident with a commercial vehicle, which the Cobra truck was a commercial vehicle. So I was able to pay the premium online, and the insurance company decided that they would provide the attorney for me to go to court. So I had a lot of questions, and my agent told me that she didn't make enough money off of the commission from writing, my policy, and that she didn't have time and that she was busy working, and that her job was just as like a salesperson, to sell me the insurance plan, but that was as far as it went. So that was very disappointing, but that's a lesson learned, something I know now. I know what to expect and what not to expect. I have heard from different people that different agents do work differently. So if you're looking for insurance, it's important that you know what to expect from your agent. Are they a full service person, or are they just going to sell you the policy and then that's it? You're kind of left on your own to handle things. I actually did join the Panama helpline, but during the accident, I just completely had forgotten that I'd even signed up for it. Otherwise, I would have called them immediately and probably gotten some help, and some help with interpretation as well, because the police officer on the scene didn't speak English, and I have very limited Spanish that's certainly not suitable for an accident. The officer was kind of upset with me that I didn't speak Spanish, and I apologized, just letting him know that my Spanish was okay for maybe day to day or in a restaurant, but not, in a motor vehicle accident. So anyway, that's what happened with the accident, and then I'll tell you what happened in court. I'm just going to close my gates so no stray dogs come running onto the property. So I had a friend take me down to San Carlos. Or no, I was actually borrowing a friend's car. Thank you, Linda. I drove down to San Carlos for the court date, and my friend Jackie was going to be there to help translate if I needed any help with translation. And the lawyer showed up, and it was a really small building in San Carlos. The other driver, Caesar, was there, and we were both represented by the same attorney, so that was convenient. Basically, the person just kind of wrote down statements, and they stamped things, and that was it. I think the ruling is supposed to take 30 days, but we've had a lot of disruption here in Panama recently. That's the next thing I'll talk about. So I think it might take a little bit longer. And we have November holidays and then December. So I'm hoping that the court filing happens in the next couple of weeks. And then I'm supposed to hear from the insurance adjuster from the other insurance company. I'm not thinking that I'm going to hear from anyone until January. So if I hear from someone by January, I will consider that a success. Now I'll tell you about the other stuff going on. So a couple weeks ago, everything kind of shut down in Panama because the president had signed a renewal contract for a mining company that was doing open pit mining in the province of Colón in Panama. And the people did not like this at all. There's a lot of history, a lot of backstory that I really don't know anything about, but I think it involves, handshake deals, maybe some corruption, maybe some people being paid, and anyway, the people don't like it. So what they do here is they'll shut down the roads, and I don't mean like little roads and for a short period of time. They shut down the road. There's only one main road that goes through all of Panama, and that's the Pan American or the Interamericana Highway. There is a spot in the Cherokee province where this road has been closed for about 12 or 13 days. That means no food is getting through, no propane, no gasoline. Hospitals have reported running low on oxygen. There were shortages of dialysis medications in general. Calls for a humanitarian corridor have gone denied, and I think some supplies have been flown into different places, but it's a very serious situation. The roadblocks can pop up anywhere, and they can be shut for anywhere from half an hour to 24 hours, 12 hours, 3 hours. And it's just very inconvenient to do any type of driving. If you're in the Coronado area and going into the city, it's unpredictable. You just don't know where you might hit a roadblock. You don't want to pass these roadblocks or try to. There's been, some violence reported, though it is minimal, it is there. And I think as the days go on, tensions rise. Supposedly now the issue is going to be decided by the Supreme Court, and that decision should be coming in a few weeks. I had assumed that once it went to the Supreme Court that the roadblocks would open up, because let the courts decide what they're going to decide. But again, that's not what is happening. I've had some Airbnb cancellations. I had to cancel my trip. I was going to be going to visit family, and I had to cancel that. It was just going to be too difficult to try and get to the city, and I'd have to leave at 3 a.m. And then I had a standby connecting flight from Dulles to Boston that wasn't looking like I was going to make the connection. And I just felt like it was the smart thing to do to cancel the trip, as disappointing as it is. So you can see by this map of where the mine company would have the rights to explore. That's a large area of Panama. So I'm really happy that the people of Panama are speaking up for what they want. And I do hope that the outcome is in the favor of the people, and that the beauty, the biodiversity, the natural appeal of Panama is preserved, and that there's a positive outcome and positive resolution from the current protests.